Hope you are able to see my screen now. Please confirm by raising your hand. Thank you. So, as I told you earlier, so another method of getting the Ubuntu OS in your Windows system is called the Ubuntu subsystem. Okay, so to get that, you- I will share this PDF with you later. So just follow the command, whatever the command I will show you in the PDF. Okay, so by to get the WSL Ubuntu on your Windows system, also the prerequisite is that the virtualization technology you need to enable i- using the BIOS setting, as I have told yesterday. So after enabling the virtualization technology, you have to open the Windows PowerShell by clicking on the Windows icon in your is having in the left hand side of your system, and by searching the PowerShell. So opening the Windows PowerShell, and you need to install the WLI tool. So WSL you need to install. So copy that and paste. I have already installed it in my system, so I cannot install it again. So I am just telling you how to install that. So copy it and paste it here. Enter. It will take you. So these are the Ubuntu is already available in the subsystem. So by installing the WSL, it will take you to that. So after installing this command, you just close the Windows PowerShell window and open the Microsoft Store. Clicking the Windows icon and go to the Microsoft Store. Search box, search for the Ubuntu. These are all the available things. So any one of app you can install by clicking this. So after clicking the Ubuntu thing, fully loading, let us wait for. So you need to click on the get button. So after getting the button, it will take you to the installation thing. I'm installing it. It's getting downloaded from the Microsoft Store. It's around 550 MB only. Yesterday we seen that the entire Ubuntu desktop is around 3.2 GB, something like that. So if you're not able to download that, you can use this method. Okay. Wait for a few minutes. Get the download thing. It's downloaded and it is installing now. Completed. Then click on the open button. It will take you to the terminal like this, and will install some prerequisite packages inside it. It takes few minutes. It will ask you for the username. Just give the username as, as your wish. Giving it a demo, and it will ask for the password. Give the password appropriate. Installation is successful. Then it will directly take you to the Ubuntu prompt. Okay. So through this method, I have installed the Ubuntu 22 LTS. Yesterday, I have told right the latest stable version of the Ubuntu is 22. So I have installed within a 15 minutes of time. So if you are not able to proceed with the VirtualBox installation, you can try this method of installation. This PDF I will share with you later. Okay. So soon after the complete installation, going to explain the file system of the Linux. So what is the file system? File system is the inbuilt software of the Linux or part of the Linux operating system. It will help you to store the data in the disk or organize the files. It will also give the information like how much the file size and what is the date creation of the date. All the information it will have. So this is called the file system. So Linux file system hierarchy. So this is the Linux file system hierarchy. In Windows, you will have the file system like directory like the partition like C colon and D colon something like that. You have right. So same like in Windows, you will have the slash partition. In Linux, we'll call it as partition. So the slash partition is the root, and remaining the slash bin slash sbin all of the subroots. So all the subroots under comes under the slash. This we call it as slash or root. Okay. So these are the these we call it as directories. Each of the directories have specifically pre-installed in the Linux system while you are installing the operating system for specific purposes. So I will walk through you the one by one. So the slash bin directory, it will have the some binaries to execute some commands. Binaries is nothing but the pre-compiled libraries which executes some commands, some basic user commands. Okay, so user commands like in Windows, if you are copying one file, or if you are copying one file from one folder to another folder, it will in the backend it will execute some commands. So Linux also have the same mechanism. In that we will have the instead of that user interface, we will execute the copy command by using the command. Okay, so this is what the user binary is. So these are the some sample commands we are going to use. It will be under the slash bin directory. Okay, then the sbin directory. Sbin directory is nothing but a system binary. By default, Windows is having its own software, right? Some of the software pre-installed, right? Some these kind of softwares will also be in the Linux system itself. These are the those softwares will be under the sbin directory. And the slash etc directory. The etc directory is nothing but a configuration file. Configuration is nothing but a setting. So whatever the software you installed inside that Linux system, it will be placed under the etc folder. Under that folder, all the software configuration file will be there. So if you want to modify any of the configuration file settings, you have to touch this directory. So for this purpose only, the slash etc folder will be there. Okay. So the fifth one is the dev file. So if you are inserting any hard drive or external drive, some pen drive, so for them to make work in the Linux system, there will be some uh, files will be pre-installed in the machine. So those device related files will be installed under the dev folder. Okay. So the next one is the process information. So in Windows, you are going to get to the task manager. If you can see the task list, the process list, something like what is the name and what is the command used by the process and what is the process ID. So all the information will be showing in Windows as a user interface. In Linux, will be able to get the information using the command line. Those information will be stored under the slash proc directory under the file name. Okay. So for this purpose, Linux having the slash proc directory, and that another one is a slash variable directory, slash var. We call it as slash var. Var is nothing but generally we store the logs inside the slash var directory, and slash temp file slash temp directory we can create a temporary files under the slash temp directory. That's all about the Linux file system hierarchy. So now we are going to practice few of the commands. So first, how to log into the Ubuntu system. So as I showed you earlier, so once you have click on the Ubuntu terminal, it will ask you for the username password. So by entering the username password, you will be getting the terminal like this. So in the virtual toolbox as well, you will be getting like this. So this is the desktop version, which you will have the graphical interface like Windows. You will have the interface like this. So in Windows, we can uh, in Linux we can work mostly with the command line. So for performing the command line, you need the terminal. So I'm getting you into the terminal prompt by clicking on the Ubuntu icon, which is that. So I'm searching for that. If if you are not able to get the terminal directly here, you can search for here something like that, or else if you directly getting into the terminal, you can click on the terminal icon. Then one window will open. So if you see here, soon after you logging into the Ubuntu terminal, so if you see that this is my system name and this is my username. Okay, after that my username will be here and Ubuntu is my system name. Okay, so I am where right now I am in the slash home slash Ubuntu directory. If you see that file system hierarchy, all the all the folders will be under the root directory, right? So it is it is a slash, and under the slash the home directory will be there, and as I told, Ubuntu is my username and the username folder will be created by default while you are creating the user. So currently I logged in as a Ubuntu user. So soon after I have logged in, I am in the slash home slash Ubuntu directory. So for knowing which directory you are in, you need to use the pwd command, which stands for present working directory. Okay, so you are logged into the system and you are in the users home directory. We call it as a users home directory. So we are in the slash home slash home directory. So inside that, if you want to see what are the files and folders are there inside the slash home slash home directory, you need to use the list command. Just type ls, you will see the list of files. Okay, so if you want to see the latest modified file within the slash home slash Ubuntu directory, you need to execute the command like ls with hyphen t, and if you put the h, it will give you the file size for the human readable format. It will give you the details like this. Okay, I will execute the command once again. Ls, and this L is stand for the list mode, and the R is the uh, recursive mode. Then T is the time. T is the table, and H is the human readable format. Okay, so it will list the files like this. So this is the file last updated in the slash home slash Ubuntu directory. So next we are going to create a directory inside the slash home slash Ubuntu directory. So I am clearing this. So in Windows, how you are going to create a directory by right clicking this and going to the new and go to the folder. By doing this, you are able to get a new directory. In Linux, we can use the command like mkdir and followed by the directory name. Directory name, say for example, test directory. So by typing the command mkdir and followed by the directory name and pressing the enter button, you will have the directory. This is the directory I have created just now by using the command mkdir. So the next command is how you are going to navigate within the directory. So in Windows, if you wish to go to the directory of the new folder, your double click will work. So same like in Windows or in Linux, we need to use the command like change directory cd and followed by the directory name. So if you want to make sure you are on the correct directory, you need to issue the command pwd command. So you are in the test directory. This is the full path. Okay, you are on the slash home Ubuntu test directory. Okay, so if you want to list the files and folder inside that, you can list. There is no files and folder created inside it. So this will be written the empty results. Okay, so after that, if you want to create any files inside the test directory, to use the command called touch. Touch is the command to create a file inside the directory. So touch followed by the file name. Like for dot log. So by issuing the ls command, if you are able to see the sample log file created here. Okay. Then so the next thing is to edit the file. To edit the file, you need to use the tool called VI, which is by default inside the Linux OS. I'm going to edit the file. So first I'm going to open the file using the VI. Currently there is no content inside the file. Okay, the file will be empty. So to add uh, to add the content or to write the content inside the file, you need to get into the insert mode by pressing the I button after opening the file in the VI editor. I am pressing the I button in my keyboard. So if you see the bottom, it will take you to the insert mode. Then only you are able to insert or add something inside the file. And I'm writing some names. Um, on some- that. Okay. After writing some content or adding the some content inside the file, you need to save the file. For doing that, you need to press the escape button and the shift colon button and W and Q. Save it. W stands for save and Q for quit. Okay, I am editing the file and I'm opening the file. I am putting some content inside the file. So I have save and exit. So if you want to see the content of the file, content inside the file without opening. So in Windows you cannot do that. So in the Linux you can do that by issuing a command called cat and followed by the file name. So if you are issuing the cat command and followed by the file name by pressing enter, it will show the content inside the file. Okay. Again, if you want to edit the file, you need to use the VI command, and again you need to get into the insert mode. I am deleting the first line. For doing that, um, you need to press the backslash button or editing the content. Again, I am going to save this by doing this, pressing the escape button and shift the colon button and W. So if you are see the content of the file, it gets modified. If you see the difference for the above one, I have removed the first line. Okay. So the same commands you can execute in the Ubuntu WSL as well. Okay. Here also you can use the same command, ls, something like that. You can also try whatever the whatever the commands I have performed here, you can perform in the Ubuntu WSL as well. So if you are logged into the system as a Ubuntu user, okay. So how do you make sure whether I am logged into the Ubuntu user. I want to know which user am I logged in. So by knowing that, you need to issue a command like who am I. So it will give you the currently logged in user. So it will show you the information. Okay. So currently you are logged in as a Ubuntu user. Okay. So by issuing the command. So if you want to know the host name, system name in Windows, you are able to get the logged in user by clicking the Windows icon, and you will see the logged in user. By user icon you will get. So in system name in Windows, you will be able to get by right clicking that this PC and properties. Getting to the properties, you will see the device name or system name like this. This we call it as a system name. Okay. So likewise in Ubuntu, you want to know the system name, you just type the host command. So my system name is Ubuntu-upload. This is my system name. Okay. So after that, if you want to create a one more user in the Ubuntu machine, I have logged in as a Ubuntu user. I want to create a one more user inside the Linux machine. How do you do that? Using the command by see. I have logged into the Ubuntu user. This is a normal user. This is not a admin user. Admin user is a root user. So by creating a user, we need a administrator privileges. So those privileges we will get using the command called sudo. By typing the sudo, you will issue the command as an administrator. Okay. So I'm going to create a user using the administrator privileges. Okay. Sudo user add followed by the username. For example, Tom. So by the first time when you're issuing the sudo command, it will ask you for the password for the Ubuntu user. So I'm going to issue the password for the Ubuntu user. So the user has been created. Now I'm going to set the password for the Tom user. Okay. For doing that, you need to issue a command like password D and followed by the username. Okay. So if by typing the command sudo and for setting the password, you need to issue the password command and followed by which user you are going to set the password. So Tom user, I'm going to create a password. So I'm giving the username as Tom and I'm going to enter. It will ask you for the new Unix password for the user Tom. So I'm giving the password. So password updated successfully. Okay. So how do you switch from the Ubuntu user to the Tom user? In Windows, we can switch the user by clicking the log of sign out button and change the account, something like that. Either we sign out from this user and sign into the new user or change the account setting, something like that. We can perform the change user. Same like in in Linux, we can use the command su. This is the command sudo su sudo su . you need to put the hyphen and followed by the username. And make sure you type the username as a small character because I have created the user. I have created a user in small character only term because Linux is second EC2. You need to type the letters very carefully. Okay. So by to change the user, I am issuing a command called su-tom and I'm entering it. I am verifying. I have changed my login as a user Tom. So I'm verifying whether I'm a Tom user by issuing a command OMI. So it will give the output as a Tom. So right now I am logged in as a Tom user. So if you want to exit, if you want to log out from the Tom user, you by entering the command exit, it will log out from the terminal. So that's it. Okay. Then so this is the Ubuntu desktop terminal. If I want to use this Ubuntu terminal through remote, eh, we need to use a tool called Putty. Okay, so this is the Putty tool. This is a SSH client which you can access the Ubuntu machine through remote by entering the IP address of the Ubuntu machine. IP address is nothing but a IP address is refers to internet protocol. It's nothing but it is the address of the machine within the local network or through the internet. So how do you know the system IP address? So if you want to access the system called Ubuntu-Apido, if you want, you cannot just put the name of the system into the SSH tool and you cannot access. You need to know the IP address of the system. So by typing the command if config, it will give you the IP address. Currently, I have my laptop is having the Ethernet ETHO. This is my Ethernet card. Okay, if you want to know that, you do, I will tell you. This is my Etho card and this is my local IP address. This is my local IP address. So by using this IP address, I can using the remote machine. I can use the I can connect the my Ubuntu machine through remote. Okay, this is the putty tool. So the host name is nothing but IP address of the system. By giving the IP address and click on the open, and again it will ask you for the login as. Give login as is nothing but a which user you are going to log in into the system. Like okay, log into the Ubuntu user and I'm giving the password. In this way, you can access the Ubuntu system outside the machine from the remote. We call it as remote. Okay, last command I have said cat we practiced and date type. So if you want to know the current date, you just type the date. It will show you the date and type of the system. here touch, and if you want to remove, so if you want to delete the file, I have created the directory, and inside the directory I'm going into the directory. Save file called sample.file. If I want to delete the file, we need to use the command rm followed by the file name. If you use the command, it will directly delete the file without asking your confirmation. Okay, so make sure you put the right file name to delete. So it will not ask you the confirmation. So I have deleted the file. So if you put the ls command, there is no file inside that. So if I want to create another file, I am going to use the same touch command. Using the touch command, you can create a number of files. Say for example, sample one, and by issuing the space, you can create the sample two, create the files like this. In the touch command, it will create a three files inside the test directory. Okay, so if you list this, you will see the three files. So by doing the touch command and followed by the file names, you can create a number of files like this. In Windows, you cannot doing like this. Okay, this is the power of the Linux. Okay, so with this, we can end this session. You can practice. So whoever is installed the virtual machine, you can practice command. Whoever is not installed the Ubuntu Linux OS, they can try the WSL method and they can also practice the command. Okay, so I am stopping my screen sharing and stopping the recording as well now.